Hi, my name is Roland, the Rental Property Investment Zen Master. I'm also the property manager for PMI JCM Realty Group, where we manage properties from an asset management perspective. Buy or sell, which one should you do? Today, what we want to talk about are 6 signs that it's time to make a property management change to your portfolio. Now, I think this question of whether you should buy or sell is one that comes with some, risk and some rewards, right? But in 2023, looking where the market is at right now, looking at what everything's happening, like what are 6 things that you should look for, either positive or negative, on whether you should buy the property, buy new property, or sell your existing portfolio. And I might give you some bonus tips at the end as well. That's going to help you um, determine whether you should buy or sell. So let's talk about the buy side for a moment, right? So what should you consider? What should you look at when you're determining whether you should buy a new portfolio or a new property, right? And so you can look at, for example, if your market is experiencing population growth, right? Florida, Tampa, Florida as a whole has experienced a great deal of population growth, right? Tampa has been a really good market, and this is not the only market that has a good influx of people coming in. There are plenty of other cities and states that have that same trend, but those are one of the things. That's one of the things you want to look at when you are determining whether you should invest in the area. I know well, I'll save that for last, right? Then the next is your portfolio, right? Could your portfolio benefit from diversification, right? If you have a whole bunch of single family residential homes, maybe you want to get some multifamily, some duplexes mixed in there. And there are other exit strategies, different types of properties you can also invest in. You can invest in, mobile homes is one that a lot of people get great returns on investment on, as well as senior living. Though that's another one. So diversification of your portfolio, understanding the different asset classes and what you should buy, um, definitely would help as well. And so if you want to diversify your portfolio, you can look into um, those different asset classes and properties to purchase. And the last one, well, before you get to your bonus, the last one is you're in a healthy cash flow position, right? So you have the money to buy, you're in a good position to invest in these other asset classes or these other types of properties, and then you go ahead, you dip your toes in and you start going into purchasing those asset classes. Another thing that you want to look at is how is are big companies coming in and investing, right? Wherever you see malls, wherever you see big companies coming in and putting in their assets, then you should know that it's a good time to buy and to invest in. Particularly right now in Tampa, you have Uptown that is being redeveloped. That's anywhere from Bush to Bear, 75 to 275. I've been talking about it for years. Um, and it's finally catching on, I think, to a great degree. And the people who've invested 5 years ago are going to get much more in it, than the people who are out of it. People who invested 5 years ago are going to get much more out of it than the people who are starting investing today, right? So what I would say is look for, as a bonus, look for areas where you see big companies and corporations investing in, because they spend a lot more money than you probably have to determine what areas are good to invest in. So if they're investing in those areas, then maybe you should as well. So let's talk about the selling your existing portfolio. Now, if you're experiencing significant financial loss, right? So the name of the game is not losing money. So if you're losing money in your portfolio, then it may be a good idea to sell. Maybe it's not the right, portfolio mix or property for you. Maybe there are other properties that you can invest in or investments that you can make that would get you a better return on your investment. Before you start selling just because you're experiencing significant loss, see if there's any tweaks that you can make. Because a lot of people who invest in real estate, particularly people who've invested in real estate for a very long time, they don't sell. They ride out the market, right, until the asset or the property starts generating revenue again. What I tell people all the time is, you're making money when you buy and you get paid when you sell. So if you bought the property in the wrong position, you just paid too much for it in the first place, then, the reality is you are in the losing position from the beginning. So you got to keep that in mind. Try to make sure that you understand what the market is doing and, why you're losing money. Try to fix the problem first before you start offloading your property. But, sometimes it's not a bad thing to cut your losses. Your market dynamics have taken an unfavorable shift, right? And so the reality is, I think for a lot of investors, the market had taken an unfavorable shift this past year or two. I think for a while you had a great market where interest rates was very low. And so people paid top dollar for properties. But right now, the market has shifted to a point where interest rates are where they are and people aren't trying to buy properties the way that they're used to. And at the same time, you're not able to get the same rents that you were once able to get, and you're paying a lot more, or even though interest rates were a lot lower, you paid a lot more for your property, right? And so that market shift makes you have to adjust. So you have to determine, what is the highest and best use for the property. And the reality is what's going to make the best return on your investment, right? So you can go ahead and sell that property if you want to. However, I would say, again, look for different ways to use that property, be creative with it, because, you're not going to get that 2% interest rate in the near future. Maybe somewhere down the line, you may, get back to a place where you can get that 2%, particularly if, something catastrophic happens again, maybe then we'll get back to that place. But other than that, you're not going to get that 2% again. You paid too much for the property already, and there's no way you can change that, right? So, so what I would say is, if there's a benefit of selling, right, and we'll talk about that at the end of some other positive aspects to selling and what positive points you should look for you to sell. But what I would say is, if the market has taken an unfavorable shift, you can sell, but look for the highest and best use for that property and see if you can turn that things around before you do sell. Sounds like I'm hedging, right? I'm like, this is what you should look for you to sell. But before you sell, exhaust all of your options before you go down that path, right? Because you should only sell when it's beneficial to you. And then the last one is, you need to make room for portfolio diversity. So this is a really good reason to sell, right? So if you have to, sell one property so you can buy two, that's not a bad reason to sell, right? And so look for those opportunities, right? So if you got a great deal coming up and you need a down payment for that great deal that's going to double or triple your income, definitely sell. And I think that as a bonus, what I would say, and I heard this and I think it is useful, if you're going to generate anywhere from 5 to 7 times your revenue or your cash flow, and I think it's more so your revenue. If you're going to generate 5 to 7 times your revenue in a sale, then you should probably sell that's your yearly revenue, right? So if you're going to generate 5 to 7 times your yearly revenue, and then you should probably sell your property, right? And then you can take that money and invest it elsewhere. But that is one of the positive signs you should look for when you're thinking about selling your portfolio. So those are the 6 tips that I'm going to give you. And, I think as a real estate investor, there is no cookie cutter or one size fits all solution to getting a good return on your investment. You have to continuously look at your portfolio and determine where you're at, where your portfolio is, and how to make the best decision moving forward. And so what I would say is that at PMI JCM Realty Group, we take the guesswork out of your portfolio management. We see ourselves as your partner, right? We are the property management arm of your investment strategy or of your real estate investment business. And we know it can be challenging to know when to buy or sell rental properties unless you're working with a trusted rental property management partner who can help advise you on the best ROI practices. Contact PMI JCM Realty Group to get the actionable advice you need throughout and manage your properties from an asset management perspective. PMI JCM Realty Group has a dedicated mission to share emerging trends in rental property investing in the Tampa market. Additionally, if you want to explore more effective ways to improve your landlord-tenant experience, we can help. For insights to boost your vendor relationships, portfolio performance, or bottom line ROI, consider signing up for our free webinar. It's called How to Streamline Your Rental Property or Portfolio for Maximum Growth. It's a topic you don't want to miss. As in addition to talking about this topic here, we'll talk to you about how to guarantee the rent if the tenant doesn't pay, and a host of other great tips and tricks that's going to help make your life a lot easier and make you get a lot more robust returns on your investment. And we also have a Facebook group that you should join. That Facebook group has some investors that are going to be able to help answer a lot of the questions that you may have regarding your rental portfolio. So don't hesitate to join that Facebook group. In addition to that, we also have we also have a link to my calendar. If you have any personal questions regarding your portfolio, specific to your portfolio, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'm always here, always willing to help and provide guidance and help get you the best return on your investments. You can also reach out to me directly at 813-333-9617. You can also contact me at rcharles@pmijcmrealty.com. And also, you can go to my website at pmijcmrealty.com. Thank you. Have a great day.